Oh, there it is. I think this is what I was looking for. It says escaping the trap. Filling the gaps of memory with your own narrative can become a habit, one that's worth keeping in check. That's what I was talking about. It says filling the gap of memory with your own narrative can be a habit, one that's worth keeping in check. And we all need to be aware of that shit because that makes us crazy. Let me see. Um, Let me see. What are the first words that come to mind when trying to describe someone who's telling lies? Insincere, unfair, dishonest. Although lies and honesty are normally thought of as being at odds with each other, and saying the opposite is likely to raise some eyebrows. Could it be that they're not always at the opposite ends of the spectrum after all? Dun dun dun. It says confabulation. I've never seen this word before. Confabulation is a term that comprises the two. It's what the mind does when trying to make sense of the events in the surrounding world, which results in an honest lie. If this wasn't enough of a surprise, it also seems that these types of lies appear in communication between people more often than expected. An honest lie. Let me read that paragraph again. Confabulation is a term that comprises the two. It's what the mind does when trying to make sense of the events in the surrounding world, which results in an honest lie. So you're trying to make sense of the events in the world, and you tell an honest. I don't really get that. Come on, y'all, explain that. It says, what's a confabulation? To fully understand the term, it's important to begin by noting the weight that it carries within a medical setting. First used as a technical term by the German neurologists Karl Bonhoeffer, Arnold Pick, and Karl Wernicke in early 1900s, a confabulation is used in the context of memory disorders. In medical terms, it's a symptom of when a person fills in any gaps in memory with false information. In psychology, it seems as an error in recollection, as a result of which fabricated events are created. This is different from lying, as a person who confabulates is unaware of that information being false and sincerely believes it's true. Okay, now I understand. So they're not intentionally lying. And like I said, I don't trust my memory. So it's like somebody asks me what happened and then I try to tell them the story and then the story is wrong, but I don't know that it's wrong. I'm just telling you what my mind is telling you to tell you what the memory was, even though my mind has already confabulated the memory and changed it and switched it up and filled in the gaps. And so I'm not lying to you, but still what I'm saying is not true. Wow, that's heavy. Let me read some more. It says, Brené Brown, author and research professor at the University of Houston Graduate College of Social Work, suggests that confabulation affects everyone and can be used as more regular term to describe a lie that's told honestly. This means that confabulation might impact your daily interactions more often than you think. These honest lies happen every time you try to explain behaviors of people around you by making up a narrative. Let me say that again. These honest lies happen every time you try to explain behaviors of the people around you by making up a narrative. So that sounds like racism a bit. That sounds like, what do they call it? Prejudging people, prejudice. It's like you think that you know. You've given these people a narrative, and you think you know. You really believe it to be true. You think it's true. You're not lying. It's like, but you created this narrative for these people. You don't even know these people at all. Let
No.
me see. It says, for example, do you remember a time when a colleague failed to respond to your morning greeting and you were quick to assume that it was because they didn't like you? Or an occasion when you were interrupted during a meeting and you told yourself it was because your ideas weren't good enough? Perhaps a neighbor didn't even look at you when crossing paths and you were convinced it was because of that loud music you were playing that night before. All of these are examples of confabulations. You honestly believed all these explanations to be true when you were telling them to yourself or others, however, they were most likely lies. The colleague was daydreaming about the first cup of morning coffee Your contribution during the meeting sparked a brilliant follow-up idea, and the neighbor was rushing to get home on time and didn't notice anyone. Confabulations outside of its medical meaning can often be influenced by the psychological bias called a confirmation trap. In simple terms, this is one of the games that the mind plays when it looks for evidence to confirm existing beliefs or views instead of seeking reasons why they might be wrong. This bias is so strong that it can make you focus only on the evidence that reinforces these existing beliefs, blocking out anything that denies them without you even realizing that something is being overlooked. Research shows that even when the counter evidence is pointing out, a confirmation trap can make it very hard to change your opinion. I think this is what's happening, and this is very, very. I'm so glad I read this. Let me read this paragraph that I just read one more time because they just said some shit right here. One more time. In simple terms, this is one of the games that the mind plays when it looks for evidence to confirm existing beliefs or views instead of seeking reasons why they might be wrong. Why you might be wrong, like the person, like me, what I'm thinking, like I might be wrong about this, but this is a mind trap to keep you from going down that road. It says, in simple terms, this is one of the games that the mind plays when it looks for evidence to confirm existing beliefs or views instead of seeking reasons why they might be wrong. This bias is so strong that it can make your focus only on the evidence that reinforces the existing beliefs. So you only want to hear, it's like our bubble, our algorithm that we live in, our yes men that tells us what we want to hear. We only want to hear the stuff that we already believe to be true. It says this bias is so strong that it can make you focus only on the evidence that reinforces these existing beliefs. So you're gonna disregard all the other information that was given to you and just latch on the parts that reinforces what you already believe. It says blocking out anything that denies them without you even realizing that something is being overlooked. So your mind is not allowing you to realize that you're overlooking something. What do you think about that?
Yeah,